I know it seems like I've been fishing this creek more than I've been fishing at the actual cabin lately. But in this instance, bear in mind, it's 4th of July weekend. Today's actually the Monday after 4th of July. And I'm hitting this place on my way back to Jersey. And if you saw how mobbed that lake was this weekend, you would understand why I didn't do much fishing. I certainly did a lot more drinking than fishing over the weekend. But still had a grand time. There we go, fish on. That was my first cast in this pool. What do we got? Oh, we come off. That kind of looked like either a trout or a big chub. Not sure which. But we got action on cast number 1, which is always good. There we go. I saw him follow it in. What do we got here? Oh, look at that! It's a pickerel. Little pickerel. Oh, and he popped right off. There he goes. Get on out of here. Looks like he's got a wound on his head or something. I don't know if he got that while he was fighting me, but it looks like he should be all right. He nicked up the line a little bit too. I'm gonna have to retie. Well, I was not expecting to catch a pickerel out of trout water, even though that sort of thing has definitely happened to me before. Here we go. There's a fish. That's a trout. I don't have a net. Hopefully I can land this guy without incident. It's a nice trout. Nice rainbow trout. If he can stay still, I can get that hook out of him. Ah. All right. Oh, jeez. God, they're slimy. All right. He'll find his way back. I hope. Yeah, there he goes. He's pointed in the right direction. So if you're curious what I'm doing, I've got the little 2-inch white curly tail grub on a 1/64 ounce jig head. And I'm really not even doing a retrieve on this. I'm just kind of letting it float down with the current, you know, hopping it a little bit, and just kind of letting it drift down through the pool. And that seems to be the ticket so far. This is probably the best pool in this stretch, so I want to make sure I really work it hard. And so far, it's given up the goods. There we go. Another fish. That looks like another trout. Yep, another rainbow. Easy, buddy. Easy, easy, easy. About the same size as that last one, and just as freaking slippery. I'm trying to lay him back in the water, but they want nothing to do with it. So don't blame me. Well, it has been a little bit since my last hit out of this hole, so I think I'm going to move on. I might hit this before I leave again, just to see if there's anything I missed, but gotta let it settle down first, I think. Well, I worked the creek all the way up to the dam, and not so much as a nibble. I thought for sure with pickerel around I'd get at least one or two in the slow, shady runs, but no, nothing. So just made it all the way up here to see what's going on, and I upsized my lure a little bit, still using the white curly tail, but now it's a 3-inch, and I got it on a 1/8 ounce jig, which will help keep it down in this deeper water and the faster current. So let's see what happens. Alright, well, nothing doing on that bigger jig, so I switched to a smaller jig, and I got it under a float now, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drift this right along this shade line here on the opposite wall, because I got a feeling with this bright sun there might be some fish concentrated along there. Well, nothing on the jig and float either, which is kind of surprising. I thought for sure there'd be sunfish or rock bass or even smallmouths over on the other side there under the shade, but it is what it is. So I think what I'm going to do is, I don't have a ton of time. I got to get going before I wind up getting stuck in traffic on my entire drive home, which will turn a 3-hour drive into a 4 or 4.5 hour drive. So I'm going to head down to the first pool I hit, and I'll see if there's any fish left, and maybe I can bag 1 or 2 more before I got to get out of here. Alright, here we are back at the honey hole. It is now fully bathed in shade, which is ideal on a sunny day. And I think I'm going to try leaving the float on to start, because that's going to help the bait better follow the current, and the float might also help act as a strike indicator, because the bites I've been getting have been very light. When you think about it, actually, what I'm trying to do here is a lot like nymphing. I'm sure some uppity fly fishing purists might be outraged at that statement, but technically, it's very similar. Alright, well, there was a fatal flaw in my plan. The current was catching onto the float, and it was pushing it through the pool really, really fast. And these fish are really not in a chasing mood today. I think you got to get it right in front of them. So, 2 changes. First, I took off the float. Second of all, I threaded on this little tube jig, which might look a bit more natural than that white jig, even though the white jig certainly worked. But this might give them a different look. Maybe they'll think it's a larva or a small crayfish. And maybe this will help me get some of the fish that I missed. Alright, well, no other hookups, so I think I'm going to head on out of here. Wasn't a great day. Did manage to catch a few, and granted I wasn't here for very long, probably for maybe an hour and a half or less. But yeah, unfortunately, not much fish catching to show you guys this time. If you want to stick around, I will put some bonus footage at the end of this video from the little filming that I did do when I was up at the cabin this weekend. I put down a handful of peanuts on our front deck, and I put my camera next to it just to see what would happen. So if you guys want to see that, go ahead and stick around. If not, then I will see you on the next adventure.
you.